Hey everybody, welcome to Live Coding with Jesse. I'm Jesse, and the project that we've been working on for so long, since at least January, has finally launched. So if you want to see the live version of the site, it's at franciscan.edu, which I'll type right now in the live chat. So I'm going to start out by telling you just a little bit about the launch and how things went, and then we're going to take a look at the Trello board, where I've been tracking everything really, from all the extra features that I want to add and all the bugs that people have found and that I have found. We're going to do a little triage, which means we're going to figure out which things on the Trello board, which tasks are most important and should be done first. And then we're going to try to get as many of those things done as we can in about an hour. So I do have a meeting later on, so we have a hard cap on how long this stream can go. Of course, I will answer your questions as we go. We'll use the Pomodoro timer. For those of you who are watching for the first time, I am a full-time front-end developer for a small university. We have just built the main website for the university live over the course of a long time, and you're getting a glimpse of my day-to-day work. I don't rehearse this. This is what I'm actually doing for a living, and so I will make mistakes, and please call me out on it, and I'll do my best to explain what I'm doing as I go along. It's not really a tutorial though, so don't feel bad if you get lost. Just ask questions. It's totally fine. Let's see. Hey, see a lot of people saying hi. Hey, good to see you. Hey, Harshit's here. Good to see you. All right. Let me first just I'm going to set a timer too. I'm just going to take a few minutes, and I'm going to tell you about how the launch went, since I didn't stream it, because it was a little bit crazy. So basically, this is how things went down last week. At some point last week or the week before, it was decided that we would try to launch on Wednesday. Okay, I was asked to give the earliest possible time that I thought we could launch, and I said, okay, Wednesday is good. I knew I wouldn't be ready by Monday, and I wanted to give myself a little buffer in case something went wrong, so I said, okay, let's take Tuesday, and Wednesday it is. Definitely didn't want to launch on a Friday because things go wrong on a weekend, then I'd have to work. So Wednesday we go for launch. There were some issues where we had to verify that we own the domain with Google, but there were some issues with the IT department, and they were wanting to know, well, how would the verification affect G Suite, and would that somehow give the website access to some G Suite stuff? So once we got all that sorted out, on Thursday, I came into work, and I went over with the people in IT. We sat down, we changed all the DNS information, and then over the course of that day, slowly we saw all the DNS stuff get updated, because sometimes it takes a while. Got it all updated, got everything running on Google App Engine, and the site started to work. And I started to get messages from people saying, hey, I found this link, then it doesn't work, or where's this piece of content, I can't find it. So it wasn't really that bad, to be honest with you. The response was overall like positive. Nobody came talk to me directly or anything and said they don't like the website. We did have some students, well, one student on Facebook, maybe a few students on Facebook, said that they didn't like certain parts of the site. Otherwise though, not too bad. So overall, really happy. There were several people who actually came up to me that day and said congratulations, and they love the site. So that was really cool. No like major issues. The site didn't crash, nothing crazy like that. Just some broken links and things. So that's mostly what I've been going through. The only weird issue that I have that I haven't been able to figure out is that occasionally when I deploy to Google App Engine, the build, just weird things break. So the logos won't show up, or certain pages will just cause an error. And then if I just rebuild and redeploy, it works. So what I'm done instead, and if anybody's interested, I can show you how we've done this with App Engine, is I set up some scripts in my package JSON to do a test build and deploy, where it will deploy an instance to Google App Engine, but it won't point the domain to that instance. So I can go to just that custom URL, which it shows me whenever the build and deployment succeeds, make sure everything works first, and then do a real deploy with that same build. Okay, so that's my deployment step now, which is, to be honest with you, that's how it should be done, I think. That way there's this in-between step of, your development environment is local, and then there's this test environment, and then production. So that's the flow now. It was actually pretty simple once I found the documentation to figure out how to do that, so I can show you that in a second. But basically, that's how everything went. Not too bad. The only stressful thing is just trying to figure out what to do first, because a lot of times I'll have multiple people messaging me and talking to me about, we want this done or that done, and just trying to handle all those things coming in while I'm working on other things is not overwhelming, but it's just challenging, right? Okay, I see a lot of people saying hi. I just want to say, hey everybody, I'm going to set a 25-minute timer. At the end of that timer, I'm going to go to the live chat and I'm going to answer your questions and check out what you've been saying. So I see, yeah, somebody's, Son keeps saying hi a lot, so I'm just going to say hi to you since you're really excited about that. Okay. Let's see. Alright, timer is set. I'm going to share my screen now. And let me show you. First, I'm going to show you that script. Since I just talked about it, I'm going to show it to you. I don't know if this would apply to anybody if you're not using Google App Engine. I'd like to go through maybe on a stream one day or on a recorded video and kind of show you the flow of how everything's set up, like a big overview. But for now, this is what I've done. Hopefully you can see that. Let me know if it's too small. For now, we have our test deploy, which actually runs a build first. So it does our build step, which is just next build, right? And then it does a, oops, there's a test deploy. It does a gcloud app deploy with a no promote flag. Okay, so that means it's not going to automatically point the URL to the latest version, which it normally would do. All right, so the step would then be, do this, go to the URL that it tells me it's launched this instance to, make sure that it works, and then I can run deploy, right, which is a gcloud app deploy. If for some reason I needed to just do things really fast, maybe an emergency change, I could just run a build deploy, which would build and deploy right to the live version immediately. This is what I was doing at first, and it didn't always work out. So it wasn't like catastrophic, but there was a time where I deployed something before I came into work when I was still at home and didn't realize that a certain section of the site wasn't working anymore. And then when I got to work, I realized it, but there was, I don't know, maybe around an hour of time that a section of the site wasn't working. So I'm definitely going to stick with this now and just hit those sections of the site that I know have been affected. So mainly some things on the home page and things on faculty list pages. Those are the only areas that I know have been affected so far. Okay. All right, so now let me show you our Trello board. And this will be the last thing we do before we actually get started. So I'm going to try to zoom in and show you. This is what I was working on right before I started the stream. So I just finished the Pomodoro session with this. And I'm just working on a student here ran some scans and found a bunch of links and stuff, super helpful. and forwarded me all the info. So I grabbed it all and just made a checklist of it, and I'm just going through and checking some of these broken links. A lot of them I had already fixed by fixing like previous issues, so right now it's just a matter of checking these links, making sure they work now, and then checking them off. So I'm almost through that one. I don't know that that'll be that exciting for a stream or informative, so let's check out some of the other things we have. I mainly want to look at these two areas because I've already sorted through what I think are really important things and put them in here. So we're just going to look at the ones that are assigned to me, so they have my image right there. We just looked at these links. So the in progress column is going to be the most important things right now. Make edits to grad education pages. Let's check out what's in here. I don't even remember this. Looks like they're broken links. Grad education. Oh, okay. You know what? These edits, I got these from someone else that works here at the university earlier today. A lot of these are just text edits, so it's not really going to involve coding. So we're going to skip that for now. This testing, I've mainly been having one of my student workers work on this, and now there's a large list of things that need worked on. That might be a decent candidate. Let's see. I do want to research using Algolia for the search because I'm not satisfied with the way the search results are coming in right now. So if anybody has experience with Algolia, let me know what you think of it. If you had a good experience, bad experience, if you have any advice for the best way to go about doing that, please let me know. I think it's worth it. Algolia is a paid service if you want to be able to use all the features. Wow, I have a lot of viewers right now. Hey, everybody. Please, if anybody's a new viewer and you're not sure what's going on, please feel free to ask questions. I may not get to it for a little while. I'm running this timer, but I imagine there's probably a lot of first-time viewers right now. So in about 20 minutes, I'm going to do a little question and answer session. So if you can stick around till then, I'll answer any questions that you have. Okay, so I'd rather not do research on the stream, so that's probably out. Let's see. Test links, add search URLs, add new drawer links. All right, you know what? These are all not that exciting. So here's what we'll do. Let me go through this really quick. Oops, not this one. This stuff, and let's see if there'd be something a little bit more exciting in here. When you go to the search tab without searching anything, the top search option is unclickable. All right, let's check that out. That's kind of a weird thing. I'm not really sure what it means. All right, so my student worker reported this bug. Let's check out what the bug is, and let's see if we can fix it. All right. So I'm going to start up my, there we go. I'm going to start up ngrok. This is going to let you check out the site as we're working on it. You can see the site live now if you want, but also you can click on the link I just pasted in there. If it doesn't work when you click it, copy and paste it in your browser and that should work. But you'll be able to click around on the site, inspect it with your dev tools, whatever you want. I'm going to go to, well, first let's go to the site. So I'm going to go to the localhost version and see if we can replicate it here. If not, we'll go to the live version. So let's go to the search page. I'm not actually even sure how my student worker got to the search page without clicking on a search, but regardless. Okay, so we're on the search page. We haven't searched for anything, and now let's try to click this. Okay. Alright, so this seems to be the issue, that if you try to use the top search bar, when you're on the search page, a search does not occur. Okay. What if... Alright, let me share with you the couple of solutions that are going through my head right now. Okay, number one, we could just take away the search option in the top if we're on the search page. That's an option. There's really no need to have more than one search on the search page. You know what else? I'm also going to assume that the search on the side here doesn't work. Let's check that out. And that is the case. Okay, so neither search option works on the search page. So we could try to get them to work, or we could remove them. Now that there's 2 of them to remove, I don't know if I want to remove 2. That might actually be more work than just fixing this. So let's look into the code and see why this isn't working. I think the reason is going to be because the way these work depends on a route change. And since no route change is happening, right, because we're already on the search page, that's why this isn't working. But there's something I actually wanted to implement, so I'm kind of glad this came up. I want to implement it so that the search will look here at the address bar. You might not be able to see it, it's small, but it'll look at the search query here and automatically search, so that if a person bookmarked a search, they could come back and see the same search. Now, all this may not even matter if we go with Algolia, but for now, I don't know how soon we're going to go with Algolia, if at all. So I think it might be worth it to implement this. Let's see. So we need to check out our search page. And you know what? Let's see where that card is for the search. Because I believe I had it on here. Let's look over here. Wow. Let me do it. Let's do a search for this. Add search URLs, test search page, autofocus, fixed up search bar. Did I not do this? Alright, I'm not going to keep looking for that. I thought I already had a card for that. I guess not. It's possible I just made a GitHub issue for it instead. But I'm not going to do that. Let's see. I'm getting some feedback from you all about this, so I'm going to go to the live chat now. John Hansen says the side search menu will fail if a search term if the search page route is there. Michael Creel says, why not make the search bar a component so that no matter where it is, it acts the same? That's not a bad idea. I don't know if we'll do that right now. I don't know if I'll have time to do that, but that's actually not a bad idea. First thing, let's go to our search page and see what we have going on, see how difficult this is going to be to do. Search. Okay. Alright, so on our search page, let's see, our search term is probably going to determine what we search, right? So we'll most likely need to grab what's in the URL and put it into our state under search term. So let's see. Component did mount, create base search. Looks like we're already doing some things with search, and we're already getting window location search, but are we already getting the search term? Interesting. Oh, you know what? I think I know what the problem is. So this happens when a component did mount, right? When we're here on the page already, this page component is already mounted. So when we change this, it doesn't change the state of that component. So that component doesn't re-render. We don't get, this doesn't run again. So that's our problem right now. right. This is going to be... It's going to be a little bit more difficult than I had hoped, mostly because of where these components all live, right? Right now, like, the easiest way to do this would just be to, I don't know, call some of these functions whenever we change the search components, right, on the side drawer and on the app bar. But unfortunately, these aren't shared. So I'm going to look. Harshit's saying you could use get snapshot before update or get derived state from props. All right. Okay, you know what? I just got, who said it? Michael Creel says, as a learning experience, I've been playing around with search, trying to make it work with GraphQL, still can't figure it out. That actually gave me an idea. What if, all right, let me talk through this. You all let me know what you think. What if we stored the search term in, I can't remember what it's called in Apollo, like a universal store, right, for the entire application. So I don't think we've done that yet with Apollo, though. But potentially, I think that could work. Let's see. Has anybody used that? With basically, you use the capabilities that Apollo has that act kind of like Redux, right? John Hansen says local storage. I mean, not exactly local storage. We could use local storage, but I was thinking more of what Apollo has. Let's double check really quick. Apollo. Let's go to Apollo GraphQL to their docs and React. There we go. Local state management. Link state, that's what it's called. Oh, Harshit says, since it happens on route change, use Next.js route listeners. Okay, I like that idea. Let's check this out. Multiple route listeners. Docs. I just want to go to the GitHub page. There we go. If you go to the next GitHub page, you can just do a control find. No event. Or what was it? Route listeners, sorry. Route. No, at least we have the route. If you don't want to listen, here we are. Here's how to properly listen for router event and a route change. Router events on. All right, cool. Let's try to listen to this then. And do we need to import? Yeah, we'll probably need to import router. So let's grab that first. Let's import router. If I'm not already, yeah, I'm not already doing it. So we're going to import router from next router. Let me zoom in a little bit. So the idea here is if we could just use this to listen for a route change, we can trigger what was already happening on component did mount, but instead we're going to trigger the same thing on a route change. So let's just copy what they have here. All right, so the way this will go is on the route change, it's just going to call whatever function we give it. And in this case, it's handle route change, but for in our case, we're probably just going to call something we already have. So I'm going to put this, I'm not sure where we need to put this. Let me double check. Where's this saying to put this? I guess we can put it right out here with the rest of it. I'm going to try to put it closer to the component it's going to call. So hopefully it'll make more sense. So let's put it up here. Router. I thought we were importing router, right? I'm using it. Put it in component did mount. All right, so Harshit's saying put it in component did mount. Oh, what did I just do? There we go. I think I accidentally copied the wrong thing. All right, try it again. Okay, we'll put it in component did mount. Okay, so that'll fire this off when component did mount, and then we'll call. We can pass component did mount to it. Interesting. Okay. Create base search. Okay. I don't think I've ever tried to call component did mount. This is going to be interesting. Let's see if it works. All right. Where are we at? No, property on of undefined. Router events. That's odd, right? Because this is exactly how it has it here. I wonder if they have an example that we can look at. Usually they have examples. Let's check out these examples. I want that. Let's go to our pages. We'll see the index page. Maybe it'll have it on here. Nope. Let's try here. No, I just want to know where they have the router. I haven't touched it. There we are. They're using next router here. Okay, so they just have router events here. Okay. All right, let's make a little switch here. Let's take it out of here. And we'll put it up here, and then let's do this. Is I kind of like this. We'll pass in URL. Yeah, let's just pull this whole thing for now. So I like how they're doing this. So we're gonna pass in, I guess we don't really need to pass in the URL, right? But we do need to, I do want to call multiple things. So we would call, I guess, these three. And why? Again, we have the weird squiggly line on router. Unless... I see. This needs to go outside of here. There we go. I'm not sure though if I'm going to be able to call these functions from outside here. Let's see what error we get. Still getting that same on error. You know what? Harsh is saying maybe I need to update Next.js. You know what? You're right. I think I'm not using the latest version. All right. Let's see how much time we have. Oh, okay. Almost time for question and answer. So we'll do some question and answers, and then we'll decide whether or not we're going to try to update Next.js right now. Definitely going to make another branch. Let's do that right now. Git checkout p search update. So I'm going to git checkout with a B flag so that it will make a new branch and check out that new branch at the same time. I'm going to call it search update. Okay, that way anything we do now will not mess up our main master branch. Okay, I'm going to do a 5-minute timer and answer some questions. So I'm going to scroll up to the top, try to get through as many questions as I can in this 5 minutes, and then we'll go back and do some coding. Okay. Someone's interested in Python programming. I personally don't do any Python, not on the stream or anything, but there are definitely some other videos on this channel where I use all different types of programming languages. So maybe just do a little search for Python inside the FreeCodeCamp channel, and you'll probably find something. Let's see. Okay. See a lot of you saying hi. I'm not going to say all your names individually, sorry, but just want to make sure we have enough time to get something done in this stream. Love Neat says, is React good enough for a job? Yeah, for sure. There are a ton of React jobs out there. I see React in job listings all the time. Like almost every day I see a job listing for React. I get them like sent to my email and on LinkedIn and everything, so I see them all the time. Kranti says, much appreciated for the stream. Thanks. I'm glad you said that. I always love to hear that the stream is of value to you all. Steven says, howdy, long-time viewer, first-time poster. Oh, awesome. Well, thanks for watching, and thanks for letting me know you're out there. Mike asks if I have Discord. I do have Discord. My name is probably Jesse Weigel on Discord. It's pretty much the same everywhere. Mushfik says, do you use PHP in front-end development? Do you have to use PHP in front-end development? No, not at all. PHP is not a front-end thing. If you want to do WordPress development, it might not hurt to know some PHP, but otherwise, I really don't do much PHP at all. Andrew says, hey, if you're still in the market for a new keyboard, I would recommend something mechanical. If you give me a budget, I could try to point you in the right direction. Oh, okay, cool. So for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you might already know this, but I'm looking for suggestions for keyboards. I have a new setup at home that I'm working on, and maybe I'll show you all of my new setup on Instagram. If you want to follow me on there, it's jesse.weigel, I think is my name. But I have this old keyboard. I really don't like how it feels, so I'm looking for suggestions. My budget right now is like, I don't want to spend a lot on a keyboard. I've never used a mechanical one, so I'd like to get kind of like a lower priced keyboard. I don't know, like for sure under $100 for a keyboard. You know, maybe like around 50 would be even better. I know that's not a lot for a mechanical keyboard, but I don't want to invest a lot into one until I really get the experience of typing on one and get a feel for what I like and don't like about them. Let's see. Jamal, I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's DJAMAL says, "Are you contributing to React?" No, I have not contributed to the React code base, but it'd be awesome to do so. I just don't have the time right now, but I'd love to at some point since I've used React for so much. It'd be great to give back. Love Need says, "How will I become like you as a React coder?" I just practice and try to be better than me, right? I'm not sure that I'm like any type of goal to aspire to, but yeah, just practice. Read documentation, build things with React. Don't be afraid to just build things, and don't worry so much as like, is this the right way to do it? Just build. You'll get better. You can always go back and refactor things. But the most important thing to get better at coding is to code. Code and try to improve every time you build something new. Try to expand what you can do and build more. Okay. All right. Looks like I'm not going to get through all the questions right now, but I will definitely try to get through them on my after we do a little bit more coding. Let me see. I'm going to write down where I leave off so I don't miss anyone's questions. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start this timer for another Pomodoro session, but if we get finished before it ends, I'm just going to go write the questions so we have more time for questions. Okay. I think, especially since we just made a new branch, I'm going to try to update Next on the air. So I'm going to go through all the steps that I normally do when I update like a major package that I'm using. So first, let's go to Next, and I'm going to go up here to Releases. And let's find out which release. Here we are. So we're going to go to latest release. So I'm not going to update to one of these canary releases. They have all the latest features, but they also have more bugs than a stable release. So I'm going to go to latest release 6.1.2. And we're going to check out any release notes. Okay, and it looks like there's not. See, like normally we would see, they would say breaking changes here. And there's no breaking changes, so I think we're good to go. And it'll tell you usually, let's scroll down, on most packages, is it going to say it? Usually it'll say what to type in to use this. And actually, let's go to the docs just to see if we have this this ability in the latest stable release. There we go. Okay, so we can listen for router events with the latest release on route change start. Oh, you know what? It has a different syntax. Okay. You know what, let's just try this now. I still want to update Next, but let's see if this syntax works. And if it does, at least we'll have it working. And then we can update Next if we want to. Okay. So, yeah, we still need to import router, but now instead of router events on, we're going to go on route change start. And we'll just copy and paste this stuff in here. Get rid of this one and see if this works now. We'll go back to here. Okay, we didn't get an error this time, which is nice. And all right, that was a good sign because it looked like it used what was up here and it automatically searched. So let's change this. That was nice. Okay, that's searching based on a URL change, which is awesome. Now here's the next test. We'll go back and do a search for the. Okay, and that didn't work. So this is still not working. It did update this, but it updated it in a way that didn't trigger. Whoa, accidentally clicked that. So it didn't trigger that on route change start. So let's look at how we're pushing that route. So let's go to the drawer component since we have it open already. And let me try to see if I can find search. I guess I could have searched for something better. Okay. Here's. Okay, so we do a handle search. Let's look for that. Handle search. Okay, so we're doing router push, path name. So we're doing a push. So let's look at the routes and see if we could do this part in a different way so that it would cause the event to get registered, right? Cause it to get picked up. So we're going to go back to our documentation. And I guess we'll use this documentation, although I really wish there were a dark theme for this, you know? It's killing my eyes. Routing, okay. Routing with link, that's not what we want to do. Not what we want to do. Where are we at? There we are. So we want to use this router push. Customer, you may wish to listen to pop state, react before the router does. Refresh. We could use. Push and replace a URL. All right, I'm gonna double check the chat to see if you all have typed in some advice. Okay, Harshit saying Yarn upgrade interactive latest might give you a heart attack after seeing how many packages are out of date. I know, I haven't updated any packages for 2 or 3 weeks because I knew launch was coming, so I didn't want to break anything too bad before launch. But I do want to start getting things updated now because I don't like to go too long without updating. Okay, let's see. All right, I don't see anything, so let's just keep on going with this. For push and place option decoration. Props URL push. Okay, so maybe on before just for changing the browser's history. Well, let's see if we're changing the browser history actually. We are. Okay, let's try this then. Let's try to listen for a change in browser history. Where am I at? We can get rid of these two. Yeah, I mean, we could try to listen for this. I don't really know if this is gonna work, but it's worth a shot. And it means we don't have to change that much. Okay. All right, so let's see this now. Let's Okay, so that didn't work either. I'm gonna refresh just to be sure that it picked up that change, although I'm pretty sure it did. Okay, yeah, so that's not picking it up either, the history. Oops, let's see. Okay. All right, what we could do, we could force a change. So if we didn't use the router and we just used the normal like browser API, we could potentially force a change, right? We could try it. Let's see how much time we have. All right, so we could try that, or we could try upgrading to the next version of Next and see if we then could use some of the newer stuff. Actually, you know what? We couldn't, right? So the documentation we read at first on GitHub was for the Canary release. This documentation is for the latest release, which is what we would be upgrading to. So this is what we would be using. So if we wanted to use the latest stuff, we'd have to wait until that actually came into the latest stable release. So here's what I want to try. This will be the last thing I try before we do some questions, because I don't want to go too long with the coding and not be able to answer your questions. Okay, so we're gonna we'll go to the drawer component for now, and instead of using router push, let's the state search. Let's comment this out for now, and instead let's do window dot location. I'm doing this from memory. Let's see if this works. Equals search equals okay, so here's what I'm doing. I'm going to use the browser's API to change the window location and see if that'll trigger anything. I'm going from memory here, so I don't even know if this is the right way to say it. Let's see, search. Okay, so I'm just using a template literal so that I can put JavaScript in the middle of this and grab this state. So let's save that. See if we get an error or anything. Okay, nothing right off the bat. We'll let this do its thing, and then we'll try to search from that side drawer there, which is what we just changed. Nice. That worked. All right, cool. I do want to verify that that changed the browser history. It does. Awesome. So now let's just take what we just did there, and we can get rid of that, and we'll just take this and use it in our app bar component. So let's find our app bar and find the search there. Let's see if we have handle search here as well. We do. So we're going to remove this router push and put that in there. We're going to save it. And now we'll try it. Yay, it works. All right, cool. Let's also verify that this still works. Okay. The one thing I would want to do, and I don't know if we'll have time today to do that, but you can see I just searched for biology here, and I did get the biology results, but it didn't change in the URL. It still has the URL for the other type of search. So what I would want to do then is make it so that when a search happens here, it does actually change the URL. So actually, you know what we can do for that? Let's do this router push. Okay, we're going to do the router push, but we're going to put it in the search so that when this happens, for history change, where's our search? I guess I could put this on get search results. Try to figure out which which function to put this on. I guess we could put it on this fetch search term. I definitely don't need to console log the search term anymore, so let's just pop this in right here and see if that works. Whoops. Property node is undefined. That's weird. We didn't really change anything. Oops, you know, I think we didn't bring in router. So we need to bring in router. Oops. There we go. Okay, we do have next router in there now. So why is it not working? Oops. Because I went to the wrong page. And hey, I found another error. So academic orgs page does not work. We'll have to write that down. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, it didn't work. What did I miss? Probably, let's see. Let's put this somewhere else. This set state. Where's our search term? All right, so I want to grab the search term after it's been set. This is a search term. Okay. So right here we're setting the search term. If the length, then we want to do debounced search. All right, so where's our debounced search? Let's see. Debounced search, debounced search. Okay, here's debounced search, and that just does fetch search term, which is what we were going for. Form get results. So actually, I mean, this does seem like the right place to put it. No. Let's put it back in here and make sure this states search. You know what? I was calling it search instead of search term. That's the problem. There we go. There we go. See, it changed automatically. Awesome. That was the problem. I was trying to get it to give me something from state that didn't exist in state. Okay. All right. 6 minutes left. All right. And while I'm answering the questions, I'm just going to do a commit, run it through the tests, make sure everything works. Check our status. Yep, that looks good. We'll do a git add yarn cm. That's just going to walk us through making a good commit message. We're going to add a new feature, and let's say change URL on all searches. Is that what we did? We changed the URL on all searches. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what we did for the most part. No breaking changes as far as I know. I don't know if it affects any issues. I don't really want to check right now. Oh, what happened? Routers defined but never used. We never took router out from our drawer. And we never took it out from our app bar. So let's make sure we save both of those. Now let's run it again. We can run yarn cm with a retry flag. And then that way we don't have to go through all that stuff that we just did. We'll let that do its thing. I'll check back in on it in a minute. In the meantime, let me scroll up to where I left off. For those of you who may be just joining us, the coding portion of this is pretty much over. We're going to do question and answers. So if you have any questions, please put them in the live chat now. I'll do my best to answer all of them if I can. OnKit says, in what language are you coding? I'm using JavaScript. In particular, I'm using React in a syntax called JSX. React is a JavaScript library. So that's why it may look a little bit different from normal JavaScript. Okay, we passed all our tests. Now I can push this. Git push origin search update. This looks pretty good. Git master. Let's get checkout master. We'll do a merge. Git merge search update. Awesome. Let's do a git push. Make sure that goes up there. And then we'll do a test deploy. Let me double check what that is. Test deploy. Okay, so let's run a yarn test deploy. Okay, that's going to do a build, and then it's going to do a test deployment. It's going to give us a URL. We can check it out, make sure it's working. Okay, so that's going to take a little while. Let's see. Oh, okay. Harshit says that. So earlier I was talking about a problem with builds not always working, or like it seems like they work, but in reality they were not working. Harshit saying maybe it's due to lock files. Make sure you're using properly using yarn. Had a similar issue with Netlify. Is it the same kind of build environment? Sorry. You know what? Sometimes I'm building on my laptop and sometimes I'm building here on this machine. So it's possible that it is the build environment. I'll have to double check. Whoa. That's weird. Something happened. G-Crowd crashed. Faculty.js not found or not accessible. What is wrong with our faculty.js? That's really weird. It should be here. Looks good here. All right, let's run that again. Maybe there's something wrong with that build. See what's happening. Mike says, hey mate, is there any chance I can add you on Discord? Yeah, no problem. That's what I think it's Jesse Weigel or Jesse.Weigel or something like that on Discord. Moha says, do you use brackets editor? No, I use Visual Studio Code. Kalyug says, how are you? Good, not bad. I feel so much better now that I launched this site. It was really kind of making me nervous. So, yeah, pretty good. I started getting back into working out on a more regular basis, doing like some more intense workouts, so I'm feeling really good about that. So anyway, how you doing? Wow, it aired out again. And it gave me a lot of info now. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna have to check that out after the stream. So I guess I'm not gonna do a test deploy right now, which is fine because we got a lot of questions anyway. Kunal says, how do you do this? I don't know. I mean, I just have learned how to do it in practice, I guess. Pratik says, why React over Angular? I guess at some point I wanted to learn React, and so I started learning React, and that's pretty much why. I worked with Angular 1 back in the day, and I had a hard time with it. It was probably just my inexperience, and didn't really have anything to do with Angular, but when I started working with React, for whatever reason, I picked it up more easily than I did Angular, and I really liked it. So that's kind of why I've been sticking with React, and I think you can build really cool things with React. Harshit says, I have a ton of experience with Algolia, but how are you going to index the item? It means you have a ton of stuff in WordPress spread around. Harshit, that's exactly what my concern is I like Algolia. I've seen it in use. I think it's awesome, but I don't know how I'm going to get it all the data that it needs. But I need to implement something, because the current search is, I mean, it's not what I think people would expect from search. You know, when they search in Google, it tries to predict what the most relevant search is going to be. So I need something more like that. And to be honest with you, I'm not even sure if Algolia is the right answer for that. But I've heard really good things about it, so that's what I want to try looking there first. Okay, Harsha says they have a great WordPress plugin. Just make sure they support custom post types. Well, if they have a WordPress plugin, this might be a little bit easier. So I do have on all the WordPress posts, I have the correct URLs in there to handle the whole difference between what WordPress thinks the URL is versus what the React URL is. So I already have that data in there. That might make things easier. Space Chiller says, will you make a Discord server? I'm not going to make a Discord server right now, but There may already be one. We have a lot of different places over, the past year or so where we've tried to get some chat going, um, like Slack. I'm trying to think where else. We had a forum once. I can't remember the other place where we had it. So I don't know if we ever had Discord or not. If we already have something on Discord and somebody remembers, please let me know in the chat. Otherwise, like, I'm open to having a Discord server for the live stream stuff, but I'm not. I just don't have a lot of time to make it right now. Galrav says, I'm a first timer here. Do you have a GitHub repo for this project? Yep, the link to the repo is in the description. Adrian says, hello, how can I put that yellow line under the head function? Greetings from Spain. Yellow line under the head function? I'm not sure what you mean. So maybe clarify a little bit, probably because it probably made sense when at that point, but now I can't remember what I was doing when you asked that question. So maybe explain a little bit more. I'd be happy to let you know. Dakya is asking what language this is. It's JavaScript, React with JavaScript. Maisco says, so lame. Apologies for my lameness. Please let me know what I could do to make the stream less lame. Always trying to improve. Let's see. Dovahkin says he sounds like Joe Budden. LOL. I don't know who that is. Maybe I do sound like him. I'm not really sure. Michael Creel says, you take 2 weeks off and you've forgotten how to type. I didn't take 2 weeks off. I've been working really hard. I just didn't stream for a long time. I guess I've forgotten how to type and talk at the same time. 100 subscribers without a video challenge says, love you. I love you too. Thank you. And good luck with your 100 subscribers without a video. Sorry, I'm skipping over some of the stuff that was about what we were working on earlier. Since we already got it to work, I don't really need to read it all out. Aniket says, what's the current status? The site's launched now, so it is live. So everything we're doing now is like bug fixes or new features. Gaurav says, you had dark mode on GitHub. How did you do that? Search for GitHub Dark on Google or whatever search engine you like, and it should be one of the first results. Yusuf says, hi, Jesse. It's good to see you again. Oh, thanks for saying that. And thanks for watching. I did miss you all. I hadn't streamed for a while, and things were just so crazy with trying to get it launched and back and forth between everybody that needed to be involved to make that happen. So I'm glad to be streaming again, though. Let's see. Eva says, do you have live coding streams about Redux Saga? I've never done a stream about Redux Saga. So, yeah, I don't have any plans to use Redux Saga right now. If enough people were interested, maybe I'd try to do something, a video about it or something like that. But currently, no. I have used Redux Thunks before, and I may have done a stream using Redux Thunk in the past. I can't remember, though. It might be on my YouTube channel. So I have my own personal YouTube channel. It's Jesse R. Weigel or Jesse Weigel, something like that. It might be linked in the description, but I think maybe I've used it on that channel. I don't really know. But anyway, Redux Thunk is like usually seen as kind of an alternative to Redux Saga, so it may be similar. Marcio says, would you call this session a normal workday? Yeah, this is pretty normal, I guess. Yeah, I would say this is normal for like post-launch, right? Yeah, and the fact that I'm trying to get it to work and I got to try a bunch of different things, we go back and forth to documentation, try it. That's definitely how things normally work. I mean, sometimes I get on a roll and like things just work. Sometimes nothing works and I'm just stuck and reading documentation and trying things and going through error messages, and then everything in between. So I would say that's pretty normal. The stuff you don't see is like answering emails, going to meetings, things like that. I can't really put on the stream, or it would be boring to put on the stream. But when I'm actually getting to do code, this is pretty much how it is. Also, I do things like assign tasks to I have like student workers and things like that. So occasionally I'll do little tutorial videos for them in instructions. So I also do that as well. Tamanya says, did anyone have or catch Jesse's Instagram handle? It is, I believe it's jesse.weigel. Oh, okay. Michael Creel typed it in the chat, so you can see it in the chat. Jesse.weigel. It's Jesse dot Weigel. So I mean, like the little period, not spelled out. Brian says, how long have you been coding in this language? With JavaScript, I think I've been doing JavaScript stuff for like 5 years. React, 2 years? Somewhere around 2 years, I think. Phoenix says, hey Jesse, I thought that this would be done since we are launched. Websites are never done. Especially when you work for a company and you're doing the sites. If you're a contract worker, like you're done when your contract's done. So I mean that's I guess kind of nice, but no, the website is never done. We'll get to a point where we don't really have to do a lot with it and we move on to another project. But for now, we're going to be working on updates to this for a little while longer. World Boss says, why don't you use Angular? Because I know React. I mean, at this point, I know a lot about React. It would definitely be a step backwards for me in terms of productivity to try to learn Angular. I don't see the advantage of doing that, even in the long run. So if there's something about Angular that would really help out with my projects and my workflow and my efficiency, then please let me know. But at least from what I know, React can fulfill all the requirements of what I need for my projects. And since I've already been using it and can develop faster with it than I can with Angular, I'm just going to stick with React. Michael says, okay, Michael is having a little conversation, but I kind of like this comment, so I want to read it. It says, started looking for remote jobs, but imposter syndrome is kicking in hard. Yeah, so let me just comment on this because I know a lot of people talk about imposter syndrome. I definitely, it hits me sometimes as well. Not as much now as it used to, especially since I've been doing the stream. Because, like, when you all keep watching me, even though I continue to mess up, like, it definitely builds up my confidence in the sense that, like, okay, it doesn't really matter how bad I am. Like, I'm still useful for something as a developer. But when you're applying for jobs, don't worry about thinking, like, am I good enough for this job? That's not for you to decide. The other people that are going to hire you are going to decide whether or not they want you. Okay, your job is just to make yourself look as good as you can without lying and get the info out there. right? If somebody's going to hire you for the job, then they're going to hire you. If they've hired you for some job and you're entirely like not qualified to do it and they don't provide you with the training and you fail, that's their fault. Don't worry about it. All right? It's just this is how it works, right? You are selling something, and that's your abilities and your talent. So when you're selling something, you make it look as good as you can without lying, right? The other person is going to make that decision based on a lot of reasons you may not even know about whether or not they want to buy what you're selling. In this case, your services, your ability, your skills. Don't worry about whether or not you're qualified or whatever. You just got to put it out there that you got something for sale. Okay, so apply for as many things as you can. I've applied for jobs before where I didn't even meet the minimum requirements. It's fine. And sometimes I've done that and I've been able to actually talk to people about the job, you know. I may never have gotten through to like the full interview step, but it's still been a useful thing, you know. So I encourage you to just apply, right? And don't worry about whether or not you think you can do it. Let's see. Phoenix says, by the way, Jesse, I've created my first blog site and made my first blog on it. Would you mind having a look at it on the stream? Would love to have feedback. Yeah, Phoenix, send me, since you can't do links on here. Haha, you already sent it on Twitter. Nice. I was just going to ask you to send it on Twitter. Let's copy this link address, and you know what? Let me get this ready. And I will pull it over. Oh, cool. Let me pull this over. All right, so this is Phoenix's. I lost my live chat. Where did you go? Okay. Wow, I still had the live chat up from 2 weeks ago. Wow, okay. This is the correct one, right? Wait, is that still not the right one? Where is the right chat? Okay. I thought for a second I closed out the wrong chat window, but I didn't. All right, so anyway, this is Phoenix's blog. Really cool. Really cool. I like this. Where's my... This is really cool. Today I learned. Series of posts. Really cool. I like this. That's cool. Thanks for sharing. I think I like, let's see. The thing I would say is, in terms of feedback, just from a design perspective, since we're just looking at it, is maybe if you're going to have shadows, you might maybe put a shadow on this as well to keep it consistent, like that it seems like these are the same depth. And then also, I usually don't like to have a hover effect, like how the shadow gets, longer, unless something's clickable. So, because it usually indicates to the user that the thing is clickable. Not always, but I think that's a common design pattern. So you might not want to have that hover shadow effect on this if it's not going to be clickable. But other than that, I think it's really cool. And I really like, you got a lot of code in there. That's cool. Let me see what it looks like. Oh, okay, so this just goes down to the post. Nice. Cool. Galrev says, did you use any other boilerplate for React? Yeah, this is the next JS, so it wasn't create React app. So yeah, it will be different. Prakar says, I'm about to start learning React. I just wanted to know what I should know about Webpack, ESLint, Babel, because Create React App contains everything bundled together. Yeah, honestly, if you want to start with React and use Create React App, you don't need to know anything about Webpack, ESLint, Babel, none of that. Just worry about React. Down the road, you may want to customize some of that stuff, but you can definitely build awesome things without touching any of those things. So I would just not worry about it at all right now. Let's see. Yogesh says, can you please share the code on GitHub? Yeah, there should be a link to this GitHub repo in the description to the video. Kevin Ward says faculty.jb versus JS. Okay, so let's talk about the errors we were getting. Yeah, that's a weird error. Yeah, I'm not gonna have time to work this out on the stream. I'll have to work it out later. Ventila says you look tired. I'm a little bit tired. I woke up in the middle of the night last night, so I didn't get like a good amount of uninterrupted sleep, but not too bad. Mammy says, hello, I missed classes. My system crashed with the help of a hacker. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you get everything back up and running. Nikki says, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts recently. Headaches and not doing anything kind of forced me to. Catching up on lots of dev podcasts. What are your favorites? I like... Actually... I don't think I'm going to be able to get to all the questions. I'm going to try to go through this fast. So really quick, I've been listening to the Syntax podcast. I think it's called Syntax. I like that one. I like the freeCodeCamp podcast. It's not exactly a developer one. It's more of like a hacking one, but Darknet Diaries is really cool. I know there's like 3 or 4 other ones that I listen to, and they're just slipping my mind right now. So maybe I'll have to ask me again when I'm not running out of time, maybe, and I'll look on my list of podcasts and I'll tell you all the ones I'm listening to. Let's see. Michael says, you have a chat window open from 2 weeks ago? Yes, I do. Evidently, I do. John Hansen says server response time is very good for all the database calls. Is this because of specific headers sent to the server? Is just because the site's hosting on HTTP version 2? I don't know really. I don't know why it's fast. It looks like I accidentally skipped some stuff. Yash says new to React. Any suggestions for me? Just try to practice a little bit every day. You know what? Let me check. I'm double checking to make sure I have a meeting in a few minutes. I don't want to cut the stream off if I'm not. Okay, Harshit says we may have a Discord server. We had Gitter. Oh, that's right. We did have Gitter. Alright, so it looks like the other people that are supposed to be on my meeting are in another meeting right now, so it may have bought me a few minutes. So I'm just going to keep streaming. Okay. Land Rover says, what's React used for? For building web apps. You can also use it for native apps and other things. Ventilus says, where should I start learning coding? freeCodeCamp. Let's see. Harsha says, now I got why you're getting build errors. You're not shutting down the Next.js development server, so files are busy in the file system and messing things up. Oh, okay. Let's see if this works then. Oh, okay. So Phoenix says when there are more posts, you will have to click to expand, so the hover effect. All right, that's actually perfect. So if that's going to be the case, then I'd say, yeah, for sure, keep the hover effect. Michael Creel says, how do you handle it when you get 200 likes on a tweet? My phone is blowing up and it's getting annoying. I don't know if I've ever had 200 likes on a tweet, so I don't know how to handle it. Evan says, just got here. Where do you go for daily code challenges? I don't. Sometimes I'll go to Free Code Camp and do stuff. Looks like I'm still getting errors. Otherwise, I don't really do the daily code challenges. Yeha says, hello, change your theme. Joe says, can you make a project so we can learn? Maybe like on my channel, I'll do something like that at some point if I get time. Gaurav says, you can share the list of podcasts on Twitter. Okay, and maybe I'll do that. Joe says, can you help me or us get a coding job with no degree? Yeah, I'd say definitely try to go through the Free Code Camp lessons. There are a lot of people that have gotten jobs like that. Harsha says, what are you using for that meeting lookup? I'm not sure what you're saying. I'm not sure what that refers to. Michael says, that was a humble brag on my part. All right, cool. I think, yeah, I definitely want to finish the chat up now in case my meeting does start on time. I don't want to be late for that because that's my boss and my boss's boss are both going to be in there. So, yes, I'm going to finish up. But thank you all so much for watching. It looks like we had a lot of new people. And so I hope you liked it. If there's anything I can do to improve the streams, please let me know. Definitely welcome criticism. And, Harshit wanted to know how I knew other people were meeting. Because I asked one of my coworkers on Slack. Yeah, so anyway, thanks again. I'm going to try to stream again this week if I can. I want to try to get back into like regular times for streaming. And yeah, so hopefully I'll see y'all soon. Until then, have a great day.